Hello and welcome back to Mondo Musings. I'm your presenter Nick Carter McLean with the women's version of the SEC 60-meter form chart. Now, a season ago, Tennessee's Joella Lloyd wrote her name into the record books with a stunning school record-tying and a national record-breaking 7:15 run that saw her become the first lady volunteer to win the 60 at the SEC Indoor Championships. Now the hunted, as opposed to the hunter, the 19-year-old starlet figures to have a fierce fight on her hands as she seeks to defend her crown by keeping the other 9 women featured on this list at arm's length. Tall and powerful, Georgia freshman Kenundra Davis brings an imposing presence to her chart at number 10. The blue chip recruit out of speed-centric Texas has warmed to her task nicely as the season has progressed, as evidenced by her 3 PB outing highlighted by a 7:32 semi at the Tiger Paw Invitational earlier this month. Intriguing all-around sprint prospect Simone Mason squeezes her way into the picture in the 9th spot, following a last-minute 60-meter debut at the LSU Twilight Meet on her home track in Baton Rouge. The relatively productive outing saw the one-time Miami Hurricane hit a 7:33 season's best in a final in which she was just pipped for top position on the podium by Lady Tigers teammate Tiona Beard Brown, who could also factor in College Station. The much-traveled Zenay Smith sits in 8th on the eve of the start of festivities inside the Gilliam Indoor Stadium, which is a facility with which the current Aggie should be very familiar. With a best of 7:29 from the Aggie Invitational, which was hosted at the same venue, the 22-year-old sprinter jumper will likely have to go some to seriously challenge for a place on the podium. Last season's SEC number 1 in the event is number 7 on her form chart as she prepares to mount the defense of a crown which she claimed via a spectacular ambush in 2021. Inconsistent in her first couple meets of the season, the Antiguan rising star raised hopes of a repeat of last year by producing a season's best 7:27 to push 2 of the women she'll likely be battling for championship honors all the way to the line in the 60 final at the Tyson Invitational. Powering into the 6th position is bustling Arkansas Razorback Jada Balark, who finished closest to Joella Lloyd in last year's bonkers SEC 60 final. The reliable senior suggested that she could go one better than she did last time around with a commendable 2nd place finish in a season's best 7:21 behind collegiate record holder Kemba Nelson in the final at the Razorback Invitational. At number 5 is where we find Florida Gator Samira Killebrew, whose qualities underlined by the fact that she's managed to walk away with 2 60-meter medals from 2 outings at the ultra-competitive SEC Indoor Championships. If the short sprint specialist can replicate the form shown during her impressive 3-race 60 series at January's Bob Pollock Invite, which was crowned by a 7:19 PB, she stands an excellent chance of making it 3 from 3 at SECs. The number 4 spot, meanwhile, plays host to a budding 200-meter star in Favor of Feely, who has put together a solid 60-meter season so far. The smooth, striding Nigerian heads into battle with a season's best of 7.17 seconds, which she produced in the wake of LSU teammate Alia Armstrong at the New Mexico Classic in early February. The aforementioned Armstrong, who is one of the favorites for Sprint Hurdles Gold, glides into the mix in the 3rd spot, on the back of a stellar showing at the New Mexico Classic. Prior to producing the lifetime best 7:16 to pip Ofili in that final in Albuquerque, the talented young American had revised her personal record book with a swift 7:27 clocking in her heat. Another sprint hurdle specialist, Grace Stark, who occupies position number 2 on our form chart, certainly surprised a few with her dominant display without the barriers in her way at the Bob Pollock Invitational in late January. The compact Florida Gators' impressive string of 3 wins in 3 races at the meet was highlighted by a personal best 7:12 semi, which preceded a facile victory in a time of 7.14 seconds over more experienced teammate Killebrew in the following final. And at number 1 is Kentucky's Abby Steiner, the collegiate 200-meter record holder whose 5th place finish in last year's final was almost as surprising as Joella Lloyd's win. Fully fit and firing on all cylinders this season, the Dublin, Ohio native has been a model of consistency, recording a slowest time of 7:23 in 6 60-meter starts. As for her fastest time of 7.12 seconds, that came in her semi at the Tiger Paw Invitational, a race in which she put 2/10 between herself and last season's NCAA Indoor Champs 5th placer Alfreda Steele, out of the University of Miami. So that's it for this SEC Indoor Track and Field Championships Women's 60 meters Form Chart Edition. If you have any thoughts on this list, please don't hesitate to share them in the comments section. And after you do, you can check out the men's equivalent, which features a couple Jamaicans. Thanks as always for watching. Until next time, Godspeed.